Why can't I just have a close relationship with my intended parents? If that is a question that you're asking yourself today, stay here. Skin is cooperating. Wait, not so much. Okay, I'm gonna try to start looking at the camera from now on. I'm gonna try, but I can't help sometimes having to look into the screen. I know, it's horrible. So, can you have a close relationship with your intended parents? The answer to that is yes and no. Please remember that this vlog is only for entertainment purposes only. This vlog has no intentions of offering professional mental health advice, legal advice, medical advice, or any other kind of advice. It's nothing professionally made by an expert in the field of fertility or any kind of medical field, or I'm not a professional also in the field of surrogacy. I am just a YouTube entertainer, and remember, I could be telling you a big fat lie here, okay? So it's very important that you always remember it's only for entertainment purposes only. Thank you so much for watching always. Sorry, I'm back and forth approving my Instacart shopper's replacement. Here we go again with pronunciation. I'm sorry. Dang it! Why do I make videos on surrogacy? Because that's one of my topics that I dearly love with a passion. I also have a lot of other topics that you will see in our channel, so please don't hesitate to check all of them out. They're all very nicely organized in playlists just for you. The one where I have included the topics of surrogacy are the ones that are in the playlist titled IVF, infertility, and more. So you're going to be able to find all of those there, including hot topics on injections, on things to do to prepare for embryo transfer, and so on. You're going to be able to find that playlist in the description and also at the end of the video as a call to action thingy. And also, before you continue watching, please remember that not all journeys are compensated, like how a lot of people think. Some journeys are altruistic, so it's very important to keep that in mind. I just have to say this because not everybody that comes to these videos, are wanting to get involved with surrogacy. They're just curious, and they are very welcome to that. So I try to just say a tiny little bit of what everything means. Even though I can't say the whole thing, I actually try. So whether you're matching independently or through an agency, there is always a stage during the surrogacy journey that you discuss your matching points with your potential intended parents or intended father or intended mother or intended fathers or intended mothers, right? Okay, so once you're going through that, maybe I should make a video of matching points one day. Now let me write that down over here somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so back to the topic. Matching points. Okay, so one of the matching points is communication with your intended parents or intended parent. Okay, so sometimes it's hard for either to break the ice. So the question might come from you, which is totally okay. The question might come from your intended parents or through the agency, if that is the case. So, and the question normally is, would you like to have a close relationship, or would you like everything to be very separated, independent, and just me telling you just the most important things and just communicating what is extremely necessary only? And sometimes they will agree on letting things flow naturally. Sometimes they both will agree on just communicating during very important situations. And sometimes it's just completely anonymous, yeah, because sometimes if it's done through an agency and the intended parent or intended parents are, for example, a high profile person or a celebrity, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they prefer to stay anonymous and do everything through the agency. That way they feel more comfortable. And in that case, then that surrogate needs to be okay with not having any type of closeness or any type of relationship at all with that high profile person. Okay. Now, in the case, because there have been many times where it has been agreed that they want to have a close relationship, and then in those cases, the surrogates that really wanted that close relationship get really excited and really hopeful because they want to be participants of maybe some milestones along the way that sometimes only intended parents do. And I'm going to give you an example now of what that is. I have seen in some forums and some discussion groups where sometimes girls will make posts saying, I feel really disappointed because and jealous of other girls because I really wish that I was doing, being invited to their baby showers or doing photo shoots with the intended parents. And that is not the case of each journey, right? And in the case that it was agreed upon having a close relationship, and all of a sudden the surrogate, or let's say you are the surrogate, for example, you feel that they are slowly drifting, everything is drifting apart, like almost like if you had started a relationship. You know how real relationships and dating life start sometimes, really nice and everything is like super exciting in the beginning, and then all of a sudden everything starts, coming apart and there isn't really that much communication. Well, just like that. And I am just here to tell you that if you do feel devastated or disappointed or sad, you have all the right to feel like that. You have valid reasons to feel like that. However, I want to prepare you to not have any expectations, because in most cases, the intended parents do feel and tell the surrogate that they want to have a close relationship, and it ends up not being like that. So I just want you to to have your 2 feet very well, put on the ground, and just focus on the purpose, really, the real purpose that should be for you to be going into a surrogacy journey, which is to make another parent's dream come true, or intended parents, excuse me, or well, maybe parents, because maybe they already had 1 child or 2 kids already. Okay, and I'm going to tell you now why this happens. You have to understand that some of these intended parents may have gone through an infertility journey of an equivalent of years and years and years, sometimes even up to a decade. So they sometimes, it could happen overnight. They might just change their minds about how they want to process. How do I put it? The boundaries. Yeah, that's the word that I was looking for. So if they feel like more and thicker boundaries should be put in place, because they fear that maybe, the surrogate might get a little too attached and to avoid anything in the future, in order to avoid also, more and more expectations. And because of their fear of so many things, they decide to just leave things the way that in reality it ends up sometimes, which is just only communicate for very important stuff. And I want you to be very understanding, because remember, it's not you, the one that has gone through all that suffering that they have gone through. I really want you to process that as the empathetic person that you are. Please don't take it as they have something against you or they are hiding something. Don't take it like that. It's just they have their moments, and they have their fears too. They're scared. They don't even know if, the pregnancy is going to go well. You don't even know that either. You don't even know if it's going to be a live birth. Okay, so you have to be very understanding with that. So if that happens to you, don't rub it on their face. Even if it was, I know this doesn't happen, I don't think it happens, but even if it was on a contract that you guys were going to have a relationship, a close relationship during the journey, even if you guys were friends or relatives, you have to respect that you're going to have to put yourself in their shoes. Now, they have to put themselves in your shoes when you're feeling the pain and the, and the suffering. Sometimes if you don't feel like communicating, they have to understand that, too. And that's why it's so good to have an agency, a middle person, because if for some reason you don't feel like communicating or something, there's always that person that's going to be there for you and advocate for you. Also, don't tell this to nobody. Don't tell anybody I told you this. But sometimes you gotta be careful what you wish for. You know what that is? Because if you wish to have an extremely close relationship with intended parents, and it does happen. Oh yeah, Tara painted this nail. This one, that's okay. So you have to be careful, because you know what could happen? It has been the case where, and intended parents, if you're watching this, don't take it against me. This just happens sometimes, Sometimes there are intended parents that might want to micromanage your life and how you do things, and I'm talking about things that are not or were not included in the contract. If, for example, in the surrogacy contract, let's say, for example, it wasn't included that they wanted you to have a vegan diet, let's say, for example, and then all of a sudden outside the contract they want you to. That's just an example. They can't push you to do those things, For example, if they see you posting on social media something that you are doing or eating, and they feel like iffy about it, even though it's not a big deal. Sometimes there have been surrogates that have gotten texts or messages from social media right after they post something. Yeah, and they have to deal with that every minute of the day. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. And trust me, there's going to be a point where pregnancy, it's not easy, right? It's not. there's gonna be a point where you're gonna be like, I just want to be left alone. Y'all, I just want to be left alone. You know, you're gonna want to enjoy your freedom. You're gonna want people to leave you the heck alone. But it could be different, you know. But this video is just to prepare you. If you think you wouldn't be able to deal with extreme changes in communication, and you would feel extremely disappointed, and you would feel like you wouldn't be able to handle it psychologically, don't do a journey. Don't do a journey, because it wouldn't be for you. Okay? And I already said, you know, for those of you that have been going through this, just be very understanding, be empathetic, and just remember that this is really about them. Okay? Let that be a lesson. And you know, when you did your psychological evaluation, they asked you, they confirmed whether you have a support system, right? Take advantage of your support system. Embrace that. Okay? Even if your support system, you know, suddenly has gotten a little bit smaller, just go to that closest person to you, you know. And if you feel like some contracts, you know, do have therapy included, and that could actually be a matching point, you know. That's something that you would want to discuss too. So again, you know, some contracts do have therapy. So if that's something that you need or that you think you would need, make sure that you talk to your attorney, so that's something that they include in your contract. Okay, so thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for listening to me ramble and ramble and ramble. Okay, don't forget, if you found this video with some value, I know that some of you may not have liked what you just heard, but it's the truth. Okay, I just want you to be prepared. I want you to be prepared for that, for those moments, you know. So if you feel like there is value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your peers. Okay, also, I post these surrogacy/IVF related videos every few days, sometimes every couple of weeks, sometimes once a month. You know, I'm sorry, you know, I wish I could post them all at the same time. But if I do all of them, then there's no purpose of you coming back, all right? So make sure you stay tuned so you can see the next. There's going to be a lot of juicy surrogacy videos and IVF, all that stuff coming in the future, okay? All right, and there's other topics too that I have here. So if you're interested in all the other topics that I'm really passionate about, stay tuned, okay? You have a wonderful day. Bye.